you have your triggers, your roadblocks, the things that keep hindering you. How can you overcome these things? So when you see that you're doing a 10-minute walk, now you can set goals for a 15, then a 20, then a 30. So the consistency is constantly happening. And so comparing it to not having the best friend groups, that could also make you not stay disciplined. This is why your friend groups matter so much. You can't stay in your comfort zone. New habits have to be put into place. Don't stick with motivation. Have these things become a routine. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to develop discipline as a mindset. So when it comes to being disciplined, it is the way your habits are in routine, and it always happens, as in it is now built in you, in your mindset. You have it always going on. You don't hesitate. You don't stop yourself. And most importantly, you don't procrastinate. So procrastination is something that happens with all of us, especially when we are not good at being disciplined and we don't have it built in as a mindset. So in this video, I'm going to talk so much about how to become a disciplined person, how to change that mindset, putting in the right habits and changing the formats of your habits to becoming disciplined in you. So now you are doing it all the time and not holding yourself back from doing. So with that being said, make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up. Let's get this video to 200 likes. Comment down below if you want a part 2 of this video, or if there's other videos you guys want. It could be about anything. Drop that comment. I'm going to talk a lot about key things that you have to do. It's a must on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, if you're trying to improve. So here's the thing about discipline. You have to really want it. Just as you want to accomplish goals, if you don't put any effort towards discipline, you're not going to have it be installed in you where it's happening all the time. Instead, you're going to have to run off with motivation, right? And here's the thing about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. It's here one moment, then it's gone. And then if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, or you had a long night, or you're not actually feeling that well, you're not going to be driven to really get things done. And now your motivation is going to be so low. And because you don't have no discipline in you, in your mindset, you're over here making excuses sometimes. So to change it is that new habits have to be put into place. Don't stick with motivation. Try to have these things become a routine so procrastination does not happen. So I really want y'all to understand it is so important to take your time, because if you become overwhelmed, you're going to have yourself actually crash. And so take your time. That is so important to be doing when you are going to try to have new habits happen. You want it to be built up cycles, right? So you start something and then you start doing it the next day after the next day. I want to talk about your situation. If you're going to be ignoring, or if there's other stuff that you have going on, it could be about anything, self-improvement, back to dating. Consultations are available for that. Book your consultation. Let's get on the line and talk about what's going on with you. Click that link after this video. If you have to slow down a bit, that is okay. The idea is that you are still putting efforts towards it so it doesn't become something you don't do at all. For an example, you have homework to do, or you have something to hand back to your boss. You have to put some sort of written work in. You have to maybe verbally make a video. You're going to at least brainstorm. You're going to at least write down the date, the time. You're going to come up with a few ideas, and then you could put it to action. Now, here's the thing about discipline as well. You have to become uncomfortable. You can't stay in your comfort zone if you want to develop that discipline mindset, because if you stay in your comfort zone, you're going to talk yourself out of it, and you're going to be more comfortable saying no and procrastinating and now pushing it back to a later date. That is not something you want. So as you keep putting more effort towards becoming more disciplined, you're going to see improvements happen, and you're going to become somebody that is so used to doing something that is so new to you, but you've been putting in work to make it happen. So now if you don't feel like doing it so much, just because you did decide to put 10 minutes in instead of no minutes in, you're not going to find yourself making progress. And so discipline is going to be developed as you make more progress. I have another major way to explain from this article of how you can develop that discipline mindset, but I want to know how your discipline level is from a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you feel like your discipline is at? Honestly, for myself, I would say I'm a good 7, 8. If I have a super productive day, or if I'm super disciplined that day, I'm just on it, and I have a great start to the day, right? You got to set the tone right. Then I normally have a great ending day because I'm just consistent with it, and I just force myself. My feelings don't matter. I just get it done. But sometimes it's not always going to be that way. So I would say I'm a 7, 8, and I definitely want to get to that 9, 10. And so what about y'all? Are you guys a good 7, 8? Are you guys a 9, 10, or a 5, 6? And if you don't want to comment down the number, you can just say working on it. I hope you guys are putting effort in. And so the next key point about how you can develop that discipline mindset, this is all about recognizing your lack of discipline So understanding your procrastination triggers or your roadblocks, the things that are hindering you from growing into becoming an extremely disciplined person or getting to that next level of having a disciplined mindset, important for you to understand because it is vital to improving. So something that you want to really remember is that before you become disciplined, you're going to have to use motivation to get you to be a disciplined person, to have that mindset actually be all the time on go. It's like you can't actually not be disciplined no more because you are so used to it. So when you are motivated, try to make something become part of your regular routine or make it happen. When you use motivation, you have to understand when you lack motivation, how can you start getting motivated again? So sometimes it could be inspirational videos. It could be that one person, or let's even say that family member that you like to go ahead and speak to. And also, this is why your friend groups matter so much, because if you have friend groups that motivate you so much that actually can help you keep being inspired and they aspire you to do better all the time, then that is what you're going to need to keep going. So you are disciplined. Just set a good example every single time. And of course, when you don't always have a great day, when you do have a friend that's going to tell you you can do it, that's going to push you, then you're going to want to get it done. So let's say if you're noticing you're not as motivated today, maybe it is time to just make that phone call and tell your friend like, hey, I don't feel that great. I don't really know what to do today. I'm not really feeling it. That friend can easily tell you some words, can give you a few sentences that make you be like, well, it doesn't matter how I feel. Or it could be like, hey, I'm going to get it done regardless because my feelings don't matter. Now, I understand sometimes you could be extremely sick. Hope that's not going on for you guys. And I also understand other things happen if you're going through extreme depression, if you are actually not happy in life and things keep happening bad, those feelings can really hinder you. But you also have to consider how can you overcome these things. If you do need a rest day, or let's say a rest period of time, a few hours, do that for yourself. Then it's back to snapping out of it, because what you really want to do is that you want to make sure that you are not allowing yourself to be controlled by your emotions, because your emotions can really get the best of you. And what you're vibrating off of, let's say low vibration, it's going to make you not want to accomplish these things. It's going to make you stay at a comfortable state. You're not going to see discipline happening. And so comparing it to not having the best friend groups, that could also make you not stay disciplined. Sometimes your friends want to do things that's not helping you grow. Comparing it to not having the best friend groups or friends that don't do the same thing, they're not on the same path, they're actually maybe on the wrong path. You might notice that they're doing things that's not helping you grow as a person. And so if that's not helping you, you should not be entertaining it. And matter of fact, you should not be around these friends. And I understand if you can't cut out certain friends, which you should be, but if you still have to speak to them, if you still help them, if you still support them in some way, or let's say you guys knew each other for so long since you were young, try to limit how much you speak to them. And also the days that you have to be way more disciplined, or let's say you're still trying to keep yourself motivated, try to avoid speaking to them because you know they're not going to help you. And I really want to add this to say that it's also the girlfriend or that boyfriend or that best friend, or it could be the mother that you have or the father that you have that could actually change your mindset in the moment. So if they say something negative, it can truly affect you to feel a way about it, and it can make you stop what you're doing. As in, you're not going to feel like you want to keep going with what you're doing because you are feeling away. I want to go ahead and check out on explicit and exclusive content. Make sure you go ahead and do that by clicking the Patreon link or becoming a YouTube member, and a whole lot of other things you'll never see, and all other types of pictures too. So go ahead and click that link down below after this video. Your emotions are now affected and it's getting to your head. Now it's so difficult to do something, and the truth of it is that it's not going to happen in the best way. So you might just go ahead and not do your best because you're now feeling away. So you're over here just doing half of it, and that's never a good thing. So you definitely want to give your all to whatever you're doing. Not every day is going to be like that, but the point of it is that you're trying your best to figure out what is that progress trigger. What is the roadblock? What is it that's always happening that makes you literally be like, hey, I can't do it no more. I don't want to do it. You got to avoid those things, or try to figure out how you can balance it or put a limitation to it while you are trying to get to that next state. And if it has to stay like you got to separate yourself or you got to avoid these things at all costs, do that so you can control how much you are getting things done and how fast you are going to stay disciplined, so the consistency is constantly happening. Another thing that I want y'all to take from this article is that you want to pay attention to how much you are tracking what you are doing. So let's say you notice that you can't wake up so early. You notice that you have a habit of waking up later than you want to, or you only wake up early the days that you go to work, but you want to wake up early on other days because you want to be able to wake up early to get other things done. So what you got to do is, of course, watch your alarm clock. It's as simple as that. And it's also watching how much you are sleeping. If you are sleeping way more than you should be, then it's time to put that alarm clock and make sure that you have a second one. Make sure that you're not hitting snooze and all types of stuff that can help you not fall asleep or continue to try to get more sleep when you don't need it that bad. You really don't need it. It's just a feeling that you're feeling. And I gotta say this, a lot of times when people start focusing on what they could do better and then they get it done, they feel so much more better. So it's about you actually deciding, let me just get up. At least attempt to get up out of bed. How about try to take off your blanket or your sheet and say, you know what, I'm going to do that. I feel uncomfortable. I don't really feel like getting up, but start that way. And if you're going to push yourself, which you should all be pushing yourself, then you could tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to get up and at least get one paper done. Or go ahead and make a few phone calls if that's what you're going to be doing that morning. Whatever it is, if it's going to be jogging, back to exercise. That's another important thing too. If you're going to be trying to work out more, how about you start with the basics so you can have yourself working out at least 4 times, 5 times a week, right? So it means that you're not going hard every single day. Maybe you could do 3 days of the week that you're going hard, maybe going to the gym. And then these other days, you could go ahead and go for a walk. And back to timing yourself, it's so important to keep track so you can stay organized and also understand your progress. So when you see that you're doing a 10-minute walk, now you can set goals for a 15, then a 20, then a 30. And then you could also say, I want to have more hardworking days. And you're going to choose more days out of the week than less days. So that's how discipline is going to start building up in you and your mindset is going to start changing. Now you have truly a disciplined mindset. Now, there are so many things that you guys can apply. Remember other things that you have not been recognizing, such as you dismiss the fact that you had a lazy day and you don't look back and say, what did I do today? So sometimes if it's going to be that movie you're watching all the time, that show that you love, or the scrolling that you keep doing, right? Whether it's going to be on a type of social media platform that you really love or one that you get caught up on, have discipline built in to the point where you say, I will do it afterwards. That is another thing that take from this video as well. Watch your time so much as say, what comes first, all right? Don't put yourself at a procrastinated state where you're going to be like, well, I'll do what's more fun, what's more comfortable right now. And instead, you're avoiding the other things that you should be doing. And now you're procrastinating. Now you have your triggers, your roadblocks, the things that keep hindering you, pulling you back. You don't want that for yourself. So I hope this video helps you out. I hope you guys use everything that I said in this article to make yourself become more disciplined, to have that disciplined mindset built in you now. And if y'all want more videos like this, like I said, comment it down below. I'll definitely bring more like this. Want that part 2? Comment that. And other videos that y'all want to see, make sure you check out all those links in my bio. And y'all will see me in my next video. Bye, y'all.